I know that you follow regional and international developments with particular attention. So let me start with a few remarks about the situation on the Korean Peninsula. I have just completed a visit to the Republic of Korea, the first by a NATO Secretary General. And I have made very clear the position of NATO allies on events that concern us all, the series of North Korean statements, missile launches, and nuclear tests. I reiterated that NATO strongly condemns North Korea's provocative rhetoric and provocative actions. They pose a serious threat to regional and international peace, security, and stability, and they remain in continued defiance of the will of the international community. I urge North Korea to refrain from any further provocations and to fulfill its international obligations to fully implement all relevant United Nations Security Council resolutions. And I commend all efforts to seek peaceful solutions through dialogue, because nobody could have an interest in further escalating the tensions in the region. My visit to Asia is about partnerships. It is an opportunity to showcase these partnerships and to make them stronger, because our partnerships are in the interest of peace. This is not my first visit to Japan. I was here as Danish Prime Minister in 2002 when I headed the European Union delegation for the EU summit with Japan. My last visit was also as Danish Prime Minister in 2006 when I came with a business delegation. But this is my first visit as NATO Secretary General, and I'm delighted to be back. You might ask why the Secretary General of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization should come to the Pacific region. The answer is very simple. Today's NATO is a new NATO. It's a NATO with a global perspective. It's a NATO with global partners. And Japan is our longest standing global partner. This long partnership is understandable because NATO and Japan are like-minded. We share the same values. We share the same security challenges. And we share the same desire to work together so we can help the United Nations and the international community to reinforce the rules-based international system and to build security and stability both in our own regions and beyond. But let me make one thing clear. The alliance's global perspective does not mean that NATO seeks a presence in the Asia-Pacific region. What it does mean is that NATO seeks to work with the Asia-Pacific region, and Japan is a key partner for this endeavor. In my remarks, I want to describe briefly what this new NATO is. To take a look at how Japan and NATO are already working together, and to share with you my ideas for how NATO and Japan can do even more together in the future. Let me start with a few words about the NATO of today, because it is very different from the NATO of the past. Today, globalization faces us all with a wide range of security challenges. They are more complex, more unpredictable, and potentially more lethal than ever before. At the same time, we are all more closely connected than ever before, whether we want it or not. Our economies, our people, and our security are all interlinked. Today, because of globalization, many nations and many international organizations face similar security challenges. We see the development and proliferation of weapons of mass destruction and their means of delivery, raising tensions in strategically important areas of the world, including here in the Asia-Pacific region. We see that disruptions to our transport, to our information systems, and to our energy supplies can cause enormous damage to individuals, to nations, and to the world economy. And we see that geography and distance can no longer protect us. No country and no continent can be insulated against these new global security challenges. And no country and no continent can deal with them on its own. To these common problems, we need common approaches and common responses. To deal with instability, to confront global threats such as terrorism, cyber attacks, and proliferation, and to maintain the free movement of people, goods, and information on which our economies and our very way of life depend. Over the past 2 decades, NATO has been an important driver for that kind of international cooperation. In the Balkans, in the 1990s, NATO intervened to put an end to massive human rights violations and restore stability to the region. In Libya, in 2011, we enforced an historic United Nations Security Council resolution to protect civilians from attack. Off the coast of Somalia and in the Gulf of Aden, we are protecting the vital international sea lanes and helping reduce the rate of successful pirate attacks. And in Afghanistan, we continue to deny a safe haven to extremists, to help build a safer future for Afghans and the whole region, and to enhance the security of our own nations. Today, practically all that we do with partner nations such as Japan. Because we all know that in today's security environment, cooperative security is the key to success. So let me take this opportunity to thank you for the considerable and consistent support that Japan has provided to NATO these past 20 years. In the Balkans region, while NATO played the major military role in ending the war, Japan played a major economic role in building the peace. Without the significant economic assistance that your country provided, the region would not be as stable, as safe, and as secure as it is today. In Azerbaijan, you have helped to clear unexploded weapons and contamination from vast areas of land. And in the Gulf of Aden, your maritime self-defense force has been helping NATO ships to prevent attacks by pirates in one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. But it is in Afghanistan where much of Japan's assistance and support has been focused. So many Afghan men and women benefit from Japan's commitment and Japan's contributions to make their country more safe and more secure. Through your support to reintegration programs, you're helping to turn people who used to fight each other into valuable members of their local communities. Through the millions of dollars you have donated to grassroots projects, and with the help of the experts you have deployed to Afghanistan, you have helped build schools, medical facilities, and water supplies, and improved literacy, health care, and vocational training. Through your generous donations, you are helping to make the Afghan army better educated, better trained, and better able to look after security. Literacy is vital, not just for effective security forces, but for the Afghan society as a whole. And by hosting the Tokyo conference last year, you showed your clear commitment to the future of Afghanistan. You brought together the whole international community to support the Afghan people in the decade of transformation, which will begin in 2015. NATO will continue to play its part in this broad international effort. In 21 months from now, our combat mission will be completed. But we are planning a new and different mission to train, advise, and assist Afghan security forces after 2014. A number of our current partners have already agreed to participate in this new mission. I very much hope that Japan will continue its support for the efforts of the international community in Afghanistan so that we can build on the important gains we have made together. So, for over 20 years, NATO and Japan have shared experiences of working side by side. We have shared a common understanding of the common challenges we face. And we have shared a commitment to contribute to the greater good. All this has shown that we are like-minded. We are natural partners. And together we can make a difference. So how can we build on these experiences? How can NATO and Japan deepen and broaden their relationship in the future to help make the world safer for all of us? First and foremost, we should continue to intensify our political dialogue. And I'm delighted that later today, Prime Minister Abe and I will sign a joint political declaration to guide our future work. This declaration highlights our shared values and our shared interests, and it indicates areas where we can develop closer cooperation. This includes working more closely together in managing crisis situations, intensifying our cooperation in defense, science and technology, and improving our ability to respond to disasters, such as the terrible earthquake and tsunami that struck your country 2 years ago. Our declaration also highlights the importance of cooperating more closely to deal with emerging security challenges, terrorism, cyber attacks, piracy, and the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction, and their means of delivery. These complex challenges require the closest possible international cooperation, including between Japan and NATO. So the joint declaration we will sign today is an important document which makes clear how much we value our relationship and how we intend to invest in it in the future. Because NATO's global perspective means that stability and security here in the Asia-Pacific area is important for NATO. And stability and security in the Euro-Atlantic area is important for Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, I have spoken about some of the areas where I believe we can and should strengthen our partnership, so that together we help to protect our mutual interests and enhance peace and security in our own regions and beyond. NATO and Japan share the same commitment to freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and human rights. And we share the commitment to protect those values. By working together, NATO and Japan can continue to strengthen our partnership, promote our values, and enhance security and stability for the benefit of everyone. Together, this is our vision, and together we can make it happen. Thank you.
どうもありがとうございました。